Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope all is well. Alhamdulillah, I've looked through many of your videos on your page, and mashallah, may Allah bless you and preserve your knowledge. I've learned a lot through your honesty and wisdom, and had many of my questions answered. But I have a question and I've not found the answer for you or for, and I need your trustworthy answer too. I'm 19 years old, living in New York City, and started the niqab. Being that I started the niqab, I had to make a lot of sacrifices, alhamdulillah, including quitting my former job. My parents weren't very happy with that, and they have been trying to get me to take it off and resume working again because of financial issues. I don't want to ever stop wearing the niqab, but my issue is finding a job that'll accept the niqab. In this case, should I just take it off, being that it isn't mandatory as my parents said? Or is there some advice you can give me in regards to dealing with my parents and getting them to accept the niqab? I don't want to live my life in constant battle with them. May Allah bless you and your family and reward you all immensely. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Dear sister in Islam, alhamdulillah, we're happy to hear that you've learned and that you've benefited. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow you to continue to learn, continue to benefit bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Ameen. Thank you very much for your kind words and your feedback and your inspiration. We'll try our best to serve you and all of the hadith disciples and hadith disciples better bi'idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala. As far as your question, we have some questions that we have to ask you. The first question is, what do you think and feel about the niqab? Do you feel that it's preferable and recommended? Or do you believe that it's mandatory? What you've read, what you've heard, what you've been taught and told, the fatwa that you read, or you yourself from your own research, what is in your heart? What do you honestly think and feel when you go to sleep at night? When you go outside and you uncover your face in New York City, do you feel good about it or do you feel bad? Do you have regrets? Ask yourself the honest question. Does it make sense to you that a woman is allowed to show her hands and her face to men that aren't her mahrams? Does that make sense to you? Or do you feel the opposite? So before you get into your parents, you have to ask yourself what you believe. If you believe that the niqab, or covering the face and covering the hands, is mandatory, then that is something that you are required to do, regardless of a job, regardless of your parents, regardless of New York City. But if you feel that it isn't mandatory and it's recommended and it's a virtue, it's something that you don't have to do, you honestly don't feel that it is mandatory, then that's a different story. It's causing a great deal of fighting, a great deal of discord between your parents. You don't have the necessary way of maintaining yourself. You have to work. That's a different story. My second question to you, sister in Islam, is why don't your parents want you to take off your niqab? Because of your job? Or something deeper than that? Because they're afraid that you won't have any money, you can't go to school, you can't go to college, or because of something deeper than that? Someone attacking you, someone slandering you, someone calling you an extremist, someone calling you a Wahhabi, someone calling you this and calling you that, you're extreme, you're this and you're that. Is that what they're afraid of? Ask them this question. Me personally, I don't know you, I don't know your parents. If I was asked my personal opinion, I don't think that this issue has anything to do with your work, but it's something deeper than that. And many Muslims today, many of us, unfortunately, we live in a state of fear. And we look towards the kuffar for guidance. And we determine and we declare what is a fundamentalist, who is an extremist, who is a terrorist, who is a conservative, a liberal, a progressive, a nominal, and then this goes on according to their definition. And if they say that the beard is bad and it's scary and it's creepy, then shave the beard, cut the beard. If they say that the niqab is extreme, it's too much, uncover your face. And not only uncover your face, but then put on lipstick, put on eyeliner, put on this, put on that, so on and so forth. If the ignorant Muslims that barely know how to make salah correctly, that can barely make wudu correctly, Muslims who wipe over their necks, Muslims who say, oh Allah, protect me from the aghlal, the chains on Yawm al-Qiyamah, Muslims who practice Islam with all type of weak innovation, weak ahadith, they see you with short pants, they say, oh, you're extremist, you're Hanbali, you're Salafi, you're this and you're that. Are these the people we're supposed to listen to and obey and consider their opinion? Are they to be the trailblazers and the trend makers, or is it supposed to be the opposite? Those who have knowledge are supposed to dictate. Those who have knowledge are supposed to lead. This is a very earnest question that you have to ask your parents. What are you afraid of? My niqab. What's going to happen to me for me covering my face? Is it my job? Or is it me, someone considering that I'm a terrorist and have a bomb in my pocketbook just because I'm covering my face? And this is a bitter, harsh reality. Last but not least is, what is going to happen if you uncover your face? Will the pressure from your parents stop there? Or will they ask you to compromise more? You don't have to wear a big, long, broad abaya. It doesn't have to be black. It doesn't have to be dark blue. It doesn't have to be burgundy. You can, put a little makeup on, just a little bit of perfume, so you don't smell, so you smell good. What's going to happen when you begin to compromise and when you begin to become afraid and you begin to consider what people of ignorance say, think, feel, and believe? And there's no doubt for a man or a woman to say, uncover your face, whether it's mandatory or not, that's not a statement of knowledge. That is not a statement of knowledge. So ask yourself these questions before we can give you any advice. You be real with yourself. As far as if you refuse to uncover your face and you wear the niqab and inshallah you wear the gloves, then who is the one who feeds you? You or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Who is the one who protects you? Who is the one who keeps you safe at night and in the daytime, as Allah says in the Quran Kareem? You or your parents or your job. So when we talk about Aqidah and Tawheed, one of the most clear يعني من مظاهر ضعف الإيمان وإخلال بالعقيدة is the concept of money. We talk about Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah, Tawheed al-Asma' wa Sifat with our tongues. But with our actions, it's like night and day. قُلْ مَنْ يَرْزُقُكُمْ Who gives you rizq? Allah is a razaq. Allah feeds and He is not fed. Ayah after ayah after ayah. We say these, we recite them, but when it comes down to practicing them, it's a different story. I need a degree to get a job. I have to shave my beard to get a job. I have to shake a woman's hand to get a job. And if I don't get a job, if I don't do this, then I'm going to starve. What is your tawakkul? What is your trust on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So that's the core issue. The niqab is nothing, the gloves are anything, the beard is nothing. These are all superficial issues. But the core is the heart. As the Prophet ﷺ said, that in the body there is a lump of flesh. If the lump of flesh is strong and wholesome, then that will be the case of the rest of the body. And if that lump of flesh is putrid, if the lump of flesh is festering, if it's rotten, it's rancid, then the rest of the body is going to be like that. So who do you fear? Who do you love? Who do you look forward to? Who do you hope for? Ask yourself these questions. You love your parents, you respect your parents, but your parents cannot come between you and your religious conviction. It's just that simple. So I ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to give you the necessary knowledge, to give you the necessary courage, to get the necessary sabr, the patience upon what somebody may say to you or how somebody may treat you just because you cover your face. How many people in your family, I'm not saying this about your parents, but the Muslims today, how many people will be upset if their daughter went outside and she didn't wear hijab? Oh, she's, enjoying her teenhood. But she wears niqab, she covers up, she's misguided, she's brainwashed. A brother, he wears a beard, his mother says what? He's brainwashed, you're going through a phase. But if he chases girls, smokes, drinks, get tattoos, drives around with blasting music, he's being an average normal teen. That's sad. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help all of the Muslims. Ameen.